Hi guys, it's Cal from Dirty Weasel. In this part of my Fallout New Vegas modding series using Mod Organizer, we will be covering fixes for your game that will help performance by preventing crashes and avoiding bugs. We'll start out on how to use windowed mode with a program called Game Companion, then eliminate mouse acceleration for better in-game accuracy. And we will finally install some mods from the Nexus, namely, those will be New Vegas Anti-Crash, NVAC, New Vegas Stutter Remover, aka NVSR, and then finish up with Yukichigai's Unofficial patches. So let's get started and head to the desktop. Alright, let's talk about windowed mode. Most Bethesda games and Fallout New Vegas is nothing new. It runs better in windowed mode, and you know what that means is that when you start up your game, you will have a little outside box instead of flipping it out to full screen. You will have less crashes when you run it in windowed mode. Let's go ahead and open up Steam, and we will go to Fallout New Vegas, and we'll hit play, and I'll show you this box. Okay, now you get this option right here, options. This is where you change it. You can see I have mine set up windowed already, but this is how you're going to kind of look at it, you know, when you first open this up, if you haven't gone through and set your graphics settings. See this box right here? I want you to go ahead and click that. Now, up here you see a resolution 800 by 450. That's going to open up a tiny little box, but we're going to open up 1920 by 1080. Okay, and we're going to hit OK, and we're going to hit play, and we're going to see what happens. You will have a box you can see all the way around your game, and you'll have your start bar down here and all this stuff, so that this is a true window. The game will run great like this, but it looks like crud. Okay, so what you can do, I'll wait for this to load out, and then I'll close it. I'll come back. We'll just go ahead and quit this. Yes, fix the game. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at. I want you to leave that setting at windowed mode. And there's a couple different options, and we're going to go take a look at those right now. You have fake full screen mode. This is a mod that's been out for quite some time. If you look at the files, June 2011 was the last one. And Buddha 20 has another option. I'm going to go fix this, put this right back. And it is called Game Companion. Game Companion is unique in as much as it is a program that runs in the background that will allow you to run all sorts of different games. Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Oblivion, Skyrim. Okay, and why is this a good option? Well, I run Fallout New Vegas and I run Skyrim. It runs other games too, but, this is the primary option for this. Rather than having two programs, one for Fallout New Vegas, one for Mod Organizer, that you have to run through an executable, it's probably better off just to have the whole thing integrated, right? And it runs in your background, we'll do all these different things. So we'll go back and we'll look at the files. And you can see Game Companion 2.4, you download that manually. Okay? I've already got that. Alright, I got to put it on my desktop right here. Here it is. Okay. You're going to open up this 7-zip file, and you will find a couple different things. You find a README text, and I suggest you read through this and know what you're doing. Okay, and we'll come back to this in a second. But then you have the actual setup Game Companion 2.4. Okay, just go ahead and drag and drop onto your desktop, and you're going to go ahead and run the game. Yep, or run the program. Hit run. And you're going to install. Okay. I want to set up a custom folder for this because I want it to run all my games on my E drive. Okay. And hit OK. That's where it's going to go. And this will be able to run all the games that's on my game folder or my game drive. Okay. And install. Okay. Just like that. So you're going to have this little box down here. It says installed. Left click to configure. Right click for menu. We will left click to configure. Open this up. You can see there it is right there. Game Companion. open that up. Okay. You see all the games that are supported here. I wouldn't worry about this too much. Exclude lists and all these different things. You're going to go to resolution, and you will need to change resolution to fake full screen mode. And you have 1920 by 1080. Easy as that. So Game Companion will now open your game for you at 1920 by 1080, which is what most people have. Okay. And it's going to seconds to wait for game to load. I would actually suggest doing, that's probably fine right there. Okay. This, the high quality VF downsampling, super sample, anti-ASC VSMR mode, I wouldn't worry about that. Okay. I wouldn't worry about that. Okay. And then you can go to screenshots. I'll tell you how to open a screenshot directory. Hotkeys. I don't use any of these things. I don't. Okay. But you can use under your options, you can say start with Windows. That's what I do. It's always running in the background. It is such low weight, I don't worry about it. Okay. Fix Alt Tab minimize. Yeah, that means you can Alt Tab out to see your different, stuff you go in the background. Skip Fix Initial Oblivion. Fix Fallout New Vegas 4 GB mode. Now we have that. Remember we did that in a previous video. So we want that. Okay. Fake full screen mode. Type 1 recommended. Windows key application. That's exactly what I want. Double mouse fix. You don't need this. Okay. And you can go to your help. You can go look at this stuff. And we're just going to close that down. And if you want better, get rid of that. Why is that there? Better stuff, you can just go ahead and there is a video that kind of explains it. Buddha 20 did this. You can go through and read that. But, there's lots of good information here as well. But, basically, I haven't done anything extra here. We're just going to go ahead and open Mod Organizer. And we are going to check a couple things. We are going to open the ini editor. Okay. And we are going to file out prefs.ini. Okay, there we go. Now, under display, it's in here somewhere. I know it is, but there's a faster way. Hit Control F, and it's I size. Okay, boom. All right, hit that close. Now, if you go down, size width 1920 by I size H 1080. That's what you want to see. If you don't see that, go ahead and change your fallout prefs.ini to match that. Okay. We'll be doing lots of changes to our ini files later, but for right now, that's all we're going to do. Right? If you did make a change, go ahead, save, and then close the box, just like that. Okay. Now, when we have Fallout 4 GB Fallout New Vegas ready to run, we hit run, and let's see what happens. See, it's going through its files here. It's going to find fake full screen mode and pops right in. Just like that. Done. Over. Now you could Alt-Tab out. Right? And go to your different programs that you have on your desktop. We'll go back to this. See? See how easy that is? It didn't change anything in your game. It was just running the background. And that's the beauty of Game Companion. Okay? Go ahead and quit. And we'll exit that game. We'll close that down. Now you can go ahead and get rid of this. Whoops. Get rid of this. And you can get rid of this. And you can get rid of the shortcut. Because we really don't need it. It's over here, guys. Right? It's in your background files. Right? Background loading. Right? That's all there is to it. So when you run your game, it'll be a lot more stable in the future, so you don't have to worry about it. So there you go, guys. We'll put this back over where it belongs, and we'll get ready for the next segment. One of the fixes for Fallout New Vegas and using Mod Organizer to do so has to do with mouse acceleration. And it's pretty simple to explain. I mean, I'm going to set my mouse down to lowest DPI while I'm explaining this, is that when you're on a screen, using your browser and whatnot, it's fairly, easy, and the faster you move a mouse, the faster the cursor will go on the screen. And that's good for working desktops and whatnot in different programs. But I'm going to show you something, and we're going to kind of explain it to you. So the faster you move your mouse, the farther the cursor will go on the screen. I've got it set at a start point here, and I'm going to move quickly across the screen to a stop, and then I'll come back slowly and I'll watch. Okay, now I'm going to go back slowly. It didn't get nearly as far. Okay, now in game, let's go ahead and see what that means in game. So we're going to take a look at this mouse acceleration. Basically it's how fast you move the mouse determines how far it moves on the screen. So you can see we have our mouse hovered over this pole roughly, and I've got 2 stops installed onto my mouse pad. So you can have a base distance, and you're going to see how far it goes when we go in slow, and then we'll come back and reset it and see how far it goes in fast. So we'll go real slow here and just kind of generally drift across, and we're going to be coming up on about 90 degrees right there, and we're coming up on our stop, and we stop right at that bush. Okay, so we will now go back and we'll go fast, and it should, if its mouse acceleration is turned off, it should stop right at that pole again. So we'll go fast. See, it went beyond it, and we're back. Now, for desktops, whenever those, I'll going to turn my DPI back up since I'm working here. It works great on desktops because you can see you can get around your screen very quickly. But in shooter games, and we play Fallout New Vegas as a first-person shooter essentially. It's not so good because it makes it kind of inaccurate based off of muscle memory and whatnot. So we're going to show you how to do that. And that's going to be done in Mod Organizer. So let's open that up. And it's going to be done in the INI editor. So we'll just open that up as well. You can see I've got it set to my default program, which is Dirty Weasel. And we're going to the Fallout INI. And we're going to get that change from EssArrBee's site, Fear and Loathing in New Vegas. And I always will include this link in the description so you can know what we're looking at. And this is on the STEP project. And we're going down to any tweaks, and you go ahead and hit that, and you go down to Fallout any tweaks, remove mouse acceleration. He's got that perfectly set up for us. So let's take a look in our any tweaks, and we're looking for controls. And if I remember correctly, that's about 1/3 of the way down, and it's right there. Okay. Now you notice that this text, this foreground, mouse, all this stuff here, is not in here. So that means you're going to be copying this text and putting it into your INI. Right? So let's go copy that up here. Just highlight the whole thing, not the controls section right there, and copy it. Go back to Mod Organizer, and we're going to create a new line here, and we just paste it in. Yeah, and it's saved. And we're done. And close that mouse. Close that box. So when you go back in it again, if you want to double check, you can go back and you look for controls. There it is. Everything's saved. Perfect. So next time you go into your game, you will have accurate muscle memory for your mouse. Easy peasy, huh? And finally, here we go. 3.5 videos in, and we're finally going to start downloading some mods. And these will all be fixes, bug fixes, crashes, things that I consider, essential mods that will definitely help you from crashing the game, and will be some big fixes for you in playing the game, and some appearance things. So the first one we're going to cover is New Vegas Anti-Crash, and basically it's a compilation of fixes to the game that will help you not crash. It's pretty self-explanatory, huh? So that's NVAC. The next one we're going to cover is the New Vegas Stutter Removal, NVSR. Basically, I tried to record, the stutters, and I just couldn't get them to hit, but I know a lot of you guys are running systems that have, a lot of load on them, and they need some help. And I'm sure there's other videos. Gopher did one on this same topic for Nexus Mod Manager, and it was pretty obvious on how much of an improvement it had for him, and I've noticed it did have a big improvement for me also. But we've never installed it for Mod Organizer. And finally, we're going to cover Yukichigai's bug fixes, and that's a huge mod that covers all sorts of things, and is basically, Skyrim has the unofficial Skyrim patch and the unofficial Dawnguard patch. Well, Yukichigai is pretty much the unofficial New Vegas patch. So let's get right into it. We've got Mod Organizer open right here, and you would go ahead and download all these through this button right here, and I've already got them open, ready to go. So we'll start with New Vegas Anti-Crash, and it was done by Q. And you can read this, and have you ever had New Vegas crash while trying to play? Of course you have. We all have. I may have a solution for you. NVAC, New Vegas Anti-Crash. Be aware this is a NVSE plugin that implements structured exception handling and sanity checking to reduce the frequency of game crashes. This isn't a cure-all, guys. This is a big fix, though. I can guarantee that you will see a big improvement in your game. So we will go to the files, and you can read all this stuff and how to go through the logs and the change logs. And one of the things to be aware of, this mod goes through a lot of changes. Let's go to the files. We'll take a look. There we go. You see the main files right here, New Vegas Anti-Crash, version 7.2.10. It's an NVSE plugin, so just be aware of that. And you would go ahead and you look down, and the optional file is the beta version. Do not do this. Do not, I repeat, do not do this. It's still in testing. There's a lot that goes into it. Even the estimable EssArrBee himself is involved in testing these beta versions. So just be aware that you may think, oh, it's a beta, it'll be okay. No, it won't be. So go ahead and download with Manager, and it'll download to Mod Organizer. All right, small file, very quick. All right. Next one we're going to cover is New Vegas Stutter Removal by SkyRanger1. I should have mentioned before, NVAC is 53635. New Vegas Stutter Removal is 34832. You can see all the different versions he has, no improvements that he has in the most recent one. But in New Vegas Stutter Removal, NVSR is part of the Oblivion Stutter Removal, Fallout Stutter Removal to Fallout New Vegas. Basically, it's a port over. It works. Okay. Requirements: New Vegas Stutter Removal will not work without the New Vegas Script Extender, NVSE. This is why we did this very early on, guys, because there will be a lot of mods that need this. So I showed you that in another video and how to install that. So make sure you have it. Same thing, go to your files, and NVSR, the most recent one is back in May, but that's okay, and you download that with Manager. All right. And let's just double check to make sure that's going, and it is ready to go. So we will move on to Yukichigai's unofficial patch. Yup. So once again, it basically is a compilation of bug fixes. What they did was there used to be multiples of these, and you would need to get a bunch of different ones, but these are all now been compiled into one easy spot. So same thing. Hit your files. And there are some options on this, okay? If you don't have all 5 of the DLCs, you don't want to use this one, but if you do want to use this version. The individual ESMs are all down here, so you can go ahead and package them up. Only enable the packages corresponding to the DLC you intend to use. All right, like I said, use it if you do not own or use all 5 of the main DLC. I do. I would hope you all do. Steam has sales on these things all the time, so I would hope you do that, and you would hit download with Manager as well on that. Okay, download started. So basically, that's all there is to it. So let's go ahead and open. Yukichigai is actually a little bit larger than the rest. We'll let that finish up. Yep, all ready to go. So Basic install on this is double click to install. No problems. It didn't have any issues. It just went right in there. So if you wanted to right click and see the information, it's not really doing much of anything right now. But if you want to read it, you can read all this stuff in the file tree. It basically is an NVSE plugin. Okay, guys? That's basically it. So, moving on to the New Vegas Stutter Removal. You're going to double click to install this. And you notice that it does not have the game data on top. You would right click on game data, set directory. There we go. It's NVSE. Looks good. And you install this. Okay. Go ahead and activate it. This is giving you a notice that the version number's not right. But it is. It's the most recent version. It's just a Nexus Mod Manager thing. You can ignore that update. Right. Now, New Vegas Stutter Removal has some special things you have to do to it. So I want you to right click on it, information, and you're going to go to the INI files. Okay? Click on that, and I want you to expand this window open. There's a lot of information here. Whoops, sorry. I didn't mean to hit that. Sorry. These are important stuff, but we're looking for this, FPS Management. Okay, you're going to need to set maximum FPS, and you can set it anywhere from 45 if you're running ENB, but most of us are, running 60 frames per second, and we prefer that, so we would hit 60. But you can see the maximum FPS is 30 to 85. Minimum FPS is 10 to 20, right there. Okay, so I'm going to change mine to 20. Just because. Doesn't matter. It's okay. Report period, I wouldn't worry about all that. Okay. Now, there is a lot of other information, and New Vegas Stutter Removal is very powerful. And we're going to go to EssArrBee's site here, and we're going to look up New Vegas Stutter Removal. Stutter Removal right there. You can see 4.2. And you look through this mod, New Vegas Stutter Removal by Skyranger. We talked about all this. Requires NVSC. Packaged incorrectly. We already did that. And we already did this FPS management thing. 60 and 20. Report for 4,000. Okay. B replace heap equals 0. Okay. You might read this and say, oh, I can go ahead and replace this stuff. And I'm going to give you a warning. Don't do it unless you know exactly what you're doing. Okay. Make sure you read all the documentation. Make sure you know what you're doing before you start messing with the heap space. Okay. So just know that. I wanted to point that out to you. I'm not going to give any advice on this other than don't do it unless you know what you're doing. It says only for advanced users. Detailed info in the README. Okay. Know what you're doing. Don't get over into your head and then wonder why your game doesn't work. Okay. Now, we changed that 0 to a 60, we changed 15 to a 20, and we want to hit save. And close. Okay, that's all been saved. So, just like editing the INI for this, you've now edited the INI for New Vegas Stutter Removal. It's a fairly easy process. Okay. Now, the last one is yep. And we are going to double click on that. We hit manual. And it all looks good. All of that looks great. Okay. And we hit OK. And we're going to activate that. So I'm going to refresh. There we go. Go into plugins. You notice there's only one, right? We installed 2 mods, but they're NVSE mods that don't have an ESP. Okay. The only one that has it is, yep. Okay. There it is. Base game. That's an ESM. This is an ESP. Right. Now you could say, go ahead and hit that with loot if you wanted to, and let loot do its stuff. There's not really much point to doing this other than, for academic purposes. Okay. It didn't change anything, right? So, there you go. And those are pretty much the essential anti-crash and fixes stuff that I feel are, you know, the basis for any great game to go with. You know, everything we've done up to this point, you know, 4 episodes of stuff basically is to get you to a point in your game that you can now start adding mods, and I'll start, you know, doing that in furthering episodes, starting with user interface and whatnot. But we're just going to minimize this down so I can talk. And, you know, we'll be getting into individual mods, how to install them. If there's a specific order, we'll be going through that and start giving you the information you need to start really, you know, ramping up your game. But I wanted to go through this, you know, step by step from installing Mod Organizer to installing the fixes as you would, you know, do naturally, so you didn't have too many bugs along the way, didn't get ahead of yourselves. So that's it. I mean, we got a lot of work done in 4 episodes. It didn't seem like we accomplished much, but we really did. So we're going to call it here. My name's Cal. I'm from Dirty Weasel, and I'm signing off.